hello, welcome on, the finale of Apollo Justice 8-2. So, yeah, like I said, tonight's the finale, and you might be wondering, Nitro, it's only 5 o'clock p.m. tonight. Well, yeah, I still have work in the morning, so I just wanted to make sure that I was getting to bed at a decent time tonight. So, like I said, with this being the finale of Apollo's Justice, Thursday we'll be starting Steins Gate 0, and then next Tuesday we'll be starting Professor Layton and the Dubious Box. Or, I always forget the official title! It's like the Dubious Box. That's... But I will be informing you guys right now, I will not be able to go live next Thursday. So next Thursday, not this Thursday. So like this Thursday will be the start of Steins Gate, but the 28th I will not be able to stream because next week is Holy Week and I do have to go to church on Thursday. I do have church on Thursday. So I will not be streaming next Thursday. Or potentially next week at all. Or next weekend. So there probably won't be anything for Easter weekend. So just note that. So next week is actually going to be pretty light on. But in other news, we do have Turnabout replay this weekend, and you guys had to choose the longest episode of the Chronicles. I actually did the math. Every episode of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles clocks in at like 6 to 8 hours. And then there's the Adventures of the Unspeakable Story, which is what you guys chose. That takes about 20. So yeah, I thought it'd be, we'll do a 2-day. We'll do it a Friday, Saturday. Nope. I have to go into Sunday because it's gonna take. It's gonna be a long time. It's like, damn, that's like 2 days. That's 2 whole work days, and then some. That's like 10-hour days. Like, just 8. Because on Friday, I'm already working 8. Fine. Everything is fine. As Apollo would say. But anyways, I would say this. I'm probably not going to be streaming next weekend. But on the 6th, I will be I may be considering a horror game. So if you want to, just feel free to give your suggestions on which ones they are. I'm gonna bust out the thread that horror game. I'm gonna open the thread again, so if you want to suggest a horror game. So yeah, that will be that. And then on the 13th, this also depends on when Random and Alexa are available. That way we can do the Genshin, Smash, or Pass tier list. I was kind of hoping we could do it. There's no really good time, especially when they're releasing characters like this. So I'm just like, well, yes, we gotta do it. We gotta do it at some point. I promise you guys get Smash tier list. Also, I did raise the threshold for Twitch to pay me, so I donated that money to Extra Life, if you haven't noticed. I think I did that on Saturday before the stream, so yeah. So that's kind of it, that. So, just trying to do some major, little bit of, a quick talk about, what's going ahead future, since this is the last time for Apollo's Justice. Now, am I done with the trilogy? Oh, absolutely fucking not. This is only 1/3 of the trilogy. But we are taking a break from the trilogy, and I'm not gonna do it like the Phoenix Wright trilogy, where I just play everything right along. So, actually, to be fair, Dual Destiny is not even gonna be the next Ace Attorney game we play. Yeah, because I'm gonna go play Investigations 2, just so I feel like since Edgeworth comes back in Dual Destiny, we should know. We should at least have. I should have understanding of the investigation games, because I think having the investigation games will help with like the lore behind with Dual Destiny and everything. So that's kind of my reasoning of why I want to play Investigation 2 before Dual Destiny. So it's not like you have to play you have to play Investigation 2. Like, come on, it never got an official English release. Like, how? So yeah, but that will be after Stargate Zero and Professor Layton and the Dubious Fox. So that will be after those two are wrapped up. That's when we'll do Investigation 2, and then I believe after Investigation 2, I don't know if I did more Stargate in Professor Layton or if we're going to like Chrono Trigger, because I know that would be like right where it is. And the funniest thing is, I think I put Chrono Trigger on the list like 2 years ago. That's how slow it takes to play games now. Like, I'm 2 years behind on my list. And it's only I feel like it's only gonna continue to get worse as I see, ooh, new game, must play. Because of course there's games that come out that I'm like, ooh, yes, let's play it. I'm going to play that game. And then of course, like, people recommend me games, and it's just like, oh my gosh, you guys are great and everything. And it's like, and I want to play all the games, but it's just like, there's not a lot of time to, unless if I become a full-time content creator. But I don't really have the funds to do that. Plus, I donate all the money I earn from Twitch to charity, because I'm in a position where I can do that. I feel like that is so, and like I always tell you guys, only donate if you can. Like, I swear to God, if anybody donates and they go into debt, you don't have me to blame, okay? You only have yourself to blame if you are like, oh man. But anyways, let's finish up Apollo's Justice. Trial Day 2. Huh? Welcome to court. 7 years ago. All leading to one verdict. A verdict which you must decide. Is the defendant Vera Mishra innocent or guilty? Well, she's innocent of murder, but guilty of other things. That's what I say. The courtroom doors are opening. The trial awaits. Are you ready to begin? I wouldn't have hit let's go if I wasn't. Something inside me. Rising, surfacing. Something important. Lost long ago. Close now. So close. October 9th, 10 a.m. District Court. Courtroom number 3. Court is in session for the trial of Vera Mishra. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution's ready to rock. How you feeling? How you feeling, Calvert? How you feeling? You kind of were a wreck. Prosecutor again. How's the defendant? Vera Mishra's condition. Acute action poisoning. According to her physician, she could die at any time. Thus, her absence from her courtroom today. What? They can't put her on trial without her being here? It's unusual. I should wait for her to get better and do it then. So prudicate of them. That's being a little harsh. They can't delay the trial any longer, or they risk having no one left to try. A trial without a verdict can only cause grief. Yeah, someone would know about that. Huh? Huh? The records of this case and experience tell us this. Apologies to the defendant, but the show must go on. Right. If Vera dies, the trial will be cancelled. I'm not going to let that happen. We can't let this happen. There's too much backstory at play here. Okay? Mr. Wright told me everything that has been going on behind the curtains all these years. I'm going to get Vera her innocent verdict, though, so there's still time. Very well. Your opening statement, Prosecutor Gavin. The prosecution's case is unchanged by recent events. Why did Vera Mishram succumb to poison? Because she couldn't live with the guilt of what she's done.
Objection!
But Vera was poisoned with Adequate, the exact same poison that took her father's life. What better confession could you ask for? Being the killer, she would have access to the poison. Significant is rather hard to come by. That is true. In other words, I see no room for further discussion. We could have our verdict. We could have had our verdict yesterday. Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no objections, I see no reason to postpone a verdict. We've only been here for 15 minutes. Or like 5 minutes. We need to worry about isn't the verdict, but it's the trial itself. The defense holds that Vera Mishram is the victim, not the killer. If that is so, then you have to prove something. She was in court giving her testimony before us. How do you propose her killer poisoned her? Oh, and incidentally, it would be nice if you told us who her mysterious killer was. The prosecution's objection abstained. I asked the defense to prove its claims in court. See, that's one thing that was bugging me the entire time. Because it's like, I know who poisoned her, but the how is what I'm wondering. I was wondering for the whole time. But then I stopped thinking about that because I was like, it's probably the nail polish bottle or something to do with it. But then my mind got onto a different question, which we'll get into later, probably. And that's what my mind's been, I have been boggling over all day at work. It was insane. I'm just like singing to the music I'm playing, and I'm just like, but how, or why, or how does this work? We'll get into it later, though. Tell us how Vera Mishram was poisoned. We got 2 things to prove. Who did it and how? Which to hit at first. I think we should go with the how first. Because the who is easy. I want to go the how. How did the killer poison Vera Mishram? I will focus on that, on the method used. Any comments before we begin, Prosecutor Gavin? Not a bottle or container of poison was found on the defendant's body. I see. So the vector of poison is unknown. Is the defense prepared to prove this, how the poison reached Vera Mishram? Yes, Your Honor. Very well. What method was used to poison Vera Mishram? Awesome. We got the evidence from Phoenix. What's this? My, what a beautiful bottle. I'd like to give whoever designed that a hand. Get it? 'Cause it's a hand! Nice one, Your Honor. Is that nail polish? It's colorless. Is something the matter? No, nothing at all. I wonder if Calvert knows who this bottle belongs to. It's obvious he knows who it belongs to because it belongs to his goddamn brother. So the killer put poison in this bottle and made her drink it? As Prosecutor Gavin has told us, this is nail polish. Nail polish. It's like paint for nails. Any woman with red nails? My wife has wet red nails, I see. So she's been painting them all this time. Let's recall yesterday's trial. Remember when Vera was testifying to the court? Court is now back in session. Vera seems pretty tense. She's practically chewing her fingers. So that's how it is. The acetone was in the nail polish, and then she was basically, and since she was chewing her nails, she ingested it. Whenever Vera became nervous, she had a habit of biting her nails. Her nails. Ah! Prosecutor Gavin, when the prosecution had Vera examined, did they check her nails? Bailiff! Have them check the defendant's nails at once, Mr. Justice. Yes? Do you know who did this? Do you know who put the poison in that nail polish? Yes. That bottle belongs to Vera Misham? Why do you ask? Know someone else who might have a bottle like this? No. Just checking. Oh, come on, Calvary. You know, you can say it's your brother. Mr. Justice, you are about to accuse someone of poisoning that bottle of nail polish. Please dispense with the chat. You realize the weight of this accusation. Here, let me show you. Understood, Your Honor. No problem. I know what I'm doing this time. Ah, fuck! Then let us ask. Who poisoned Vera Misham via her nail polish bottle? What's this? Christoph Gavin? What's your game? My bro? There's no way he could do a thing like that. You should know better than anyone else. Indeed. What if he did it before he was put in jail for murder? Obviously, he had to. There's no other way he could have done it after he was put in jail. He's behind bars. I know. However, that doesn't mean it was impossible to do what he did. What? Ask yourself, when he put the poison in the bottle? It could have been yesterday. It could have been a month ago. Maybe it was a year ago. Or perhaps it was 7 years ago. But Christoph Gavin had no motive for killing this little girl. It's simply inconceivable. Prosecutor Gavin doesn't seem to think so. That face tells me one thing. Christoph Gavin owes his own younger brother doesn't find it inconceivable at all. Well, Prosecutor Gavin, if you feel there is a clear and pressing need, then we may have to summon Christoph Gavin from jail as a special witness. Fine. I've known for some time that impenetrable darkness that lurks at the bottom of this. A darkness that has swallowed even myself. Okay, the defense's wish is granted. Let the prisoner Christoph Gavin take the stand! Bailiff, begin the proceedings to call a special witness. The witness Christoph Gavin, currently residing in solitary cell 13 at the Central Prison. Ah, Your Honor, how nice it is to see you again. It's been quite a while, hasn't it? To what do I owe this pleasure of your company? It's not every day I'm summoned from my solitary cell. In fact, it's never. I think you already know, Mr. Christoph Gavin. Ah, Mr. Justice. I heard you've been doing quite well for yourself. Ah! Why do I feel somehow he's still my boss? No, Apollo, your boss is much more stupid now. Am I gonna jab at Phoenix? Yes. And, your new boss is now potentially related to you? I don't know how that works, technically. Since we know Tracy and Apollo Apollo are half siblings? Does that technically mean Phoenix and Apollo are somehow related? Because, you know, Phoenix is Trucy's adoptive father. I wrestled with this all day at work, by the way. This was the question I was boggling with over my mind. So, stiff upper lip, Apollo. You can do it. Does this bottle look familiar? Around enemy or nail polish? Why, yes, I use it myself. As did the late defendant, I hear. She's not dead yet. And, was there something concerning this bottle you wish to ask me about? I admit, I respect her for her taste in nail polish. Her taste, indeed. This nail polish was how Vera Misham was poisoned. Adequate, was it? You're well informed about the case, Mr. Gavin. Even in solitary, much comes to my desk, and I have nothing to do but read. Well, Calvert? Maybe you can explain this. You're being accused again. By him. Again. Ah, and? You agree with his accusation, don't you? Let's hold a proper trial, shall we? Christoph Gavin, your testimony, please. I'd be delighted. The charges against you are quite severe, Mr. Gavin. You are suspected of the poisoning of the defendant Vera Misham. Please testify on the matter to this court. I think he's gonna go with the obvious approach of, how could I poison her? I'm in jail! Owning the same nail polish does not make a murderer case. I have been in solitary confinement for half a year. How could I have poisoned her? Her father died of the same poisoning, and the meaning of which should be clear. The prosecution's case holds. She poisoned her father, then attempted to poison herself. Surely, you aren't going to suggest that I'm responsible for poisoning her father, too. Well, I'm afraid the defense claim is sounding rather unlikely. Naturally. For one, I don't even know the Mishams. Isn't that so, Mr. Justice? Fuck! We can't prove it! Fuck, we can't bring out our trump card right now. We shouldn't bring out our trump card. The trump card being the yellow envelope, by the way. Because. Very well, Mr. Justice, begin your cross-examination. I'm accusing Christoph Gavin, my ex-boss. Again. he forgot the again part. Apollo forgot the and again part. But I know he poisoned the Mishams. The question is when he could have done it. Not to mention, why? Yeah, that's still kind of the big looting mystery. The why. Tell me, is this nail polish expensive? Adonai is the nail polish of the highest order. Not only is it fabulously expensive, but it's made in extremely limited quantities. And you and Vera just happen to both use it? That can't be a coincidence. Objection! I'm guessing it's not a coincidence. Huh? It's simple. Attica is the best nail polish one can buy, correct? Then if one wants the best nail polish, one would buy it. That makes sense. Why? It's a bit like my feelings towards my brand named Gavel here. Of course, your honor must have the greatest gavel of all time. Everyone knows that the judge and the gavel and the judge is a ship made in heaven, and it's like it's stronger than anything. It's the bond between a judge and his gavel is like, oh shit, it's like trying to think. It's like the judge and the gavel. Name a better duo. I'll wait. Am I still tap hot? Are we all done showing off our refined taste continue with your tasteful testimony. Hey, can't you still make contact with the outside world in solitary? Apollo, what do you think a solitary means? I'll just let you sit there, Apollo. Ah, so he has an accomplice on the outside. Is that your latest accusation? I am allowed a certain marker in a letter writing. But in the contents of those letters are closely checked. It would be extremely difficult to send a hit request. What did this letter say? There's an address on it, and the name I heard of. At least, I think so. Too blurry to read. So I can't... Okay, so I can't check the contents of the letter. Fuck. Prosecutor Gavin's on the warpath. Yeah. I think so too, Tracy. I bet I know why. He must be nervous with his big brother watching. And maybe that's a weakness I can turn into my advantage. He's nervous because his big bro is the big scary ex-defense attorney. Are we cool with that? May I continue? The defendant is not dead yet! There's no known cases of someone surviving adequate poisoning. You seem to know a lot about eggplants. I know a lot about a lot of things, which is why I suggest we pick up the pace, or else you'll be short of one defendant for what she's worth. The witness will refrain from speaking ill of the ill. My apologies. Shall I continue? Barry had no reason to want to commit suicide. And also, who would want to commit suicide by doing their nails? Objection! The answer is quite simple. Basically, allow me to explain. Beginning with the why did she do it? The answer is quite simple. She couldn't live with her own guilt. Next, why did she use nail polish to poison herself? This too is simple. So she could die doing something that she liked. Something that she liked? When she saw that the trial wasn't going her way, she knew she would die. And it's not easy to bring poison into a courtroom. Must I explain further? I believe that's clear enough. Crystal clear. Wow, the two brothers together are like a two-man wrecking team. They could use a little more teamwork, though. I mean, one was the defense attorney and one's a prosecutor. What do you expect? Plus, Vera and Mr. Misham was poisoned without it. That really can't be a coincidence. Objection! The defense is repeating your fallible statements based on contrary. The prosecution requests the concrete and ambiguous proof of the witness's crime. Objection sustained. The defense will please present concrete proof. The prosecutor Gavin seems strange to you. But he's all grown up. I think that's how prosecutors are supposed to be. So he's acting different than usual. Well, yeah, because his big brother is here. Obviously. I bet it has a lot to do with his brother Kristoff being in the room. Well, let's make this testimony count, Apollo. Right, quick champagne list. My bracelet should be to the trick. Okay, questioning my ex-boss. His testimony seems watertight, but he's lying. I'm sure I'll be able to see something, as long as I focus. Okay, so the last statement. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be quite hard to find a nervous habit in this man. I don't think he knows of Apollo's trick, though. Not gonna lie, I feel like he might be a little. Let's try another statement. I feel like his Twitch is like a sticker. It's not gonna be like something obvious. Because obviously this is our final boss, everybody. Let's try some other statement. Why do I want to say the Twitch happens on How Could I Poison Her? Let's try some other things. Wait. Let me replay that. I thought I saw something. Like his eye twitch. No, yeah, I was seeing something. there's that finger pointing at me so rudely. And if that's the desperate gleam in your eyes, it's quite disturbing, actually. Perhaps because you have no faith in your own logic, which is why you cling to your dubious power. Confident or not, I have come a long way, Mr. Gavin. Just a little more to go. I need a word. There must be some word that sends shivers down his spine. It's gotta do something with that scar I saw. Yeah, this here. Oh!
Gotcha!
That was freaky! So, it was you who killed Drew Mission. A bluff worthy of your new mentor, Mr. Wright. Oh, really? But you see, I saw it. Right when you said her father, too. Your hand tensed up unnaturally. A little devil appeared that gave me the news. And, let's assume for the sake of argument that you saw me being tense. What does that mean? Are all tense witnesses guilty? And tell me, was Drew Mission found of nail polish too? Sorry, but there's more than one way to poison a man. You don't need nail polish to get into someone's mouth. Ah. Then I must be very talented indeed. You see, Drew Misham was killed on October 6th, while I was already in my solitary confinement cell of the central prison. If that's not an alibi, then I don't know what is. Well, let's say, Stampy poison 7 years ago was never used until a few days ago. But you find a way. All the same. And I found it too. This is how you poison Mr. Mission.
Take that!
I'm sure this commemorative stamp requires no introduction. The night Mr. Misham died, he was seen writing a letter. Adequate was found on the stamp, Mr. Gavin. So I am to understand the stamp was the murder weapon? Yes, you are. Oh, and yes, the stamp was found in your prison cell. Oh, fuck. That is all, Your Honor. Order! 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 Put poison on the back of that stamp? After Drew Misham was killed, someone paid a visit to the witness's cell. Phoenix Wright. Daddy? That's when he found the stamp. You made Drew Misham write you a letter. That's how you killed him. What? My. You have upset my poor brother to the point of uselessness. Allow me to clarify this matter, Justice. All you need to do is recall witness Brushell's testimony. Well, that's the thing. See, after he put this letter in that envelope, Mr. Misham sat there searching his desk for something. His desk drawer. Yes, a stamp! A so-called postage stamp. End quote. He was looking for a stamp. Ergo, he had no intention of using this stamp. What are you getting at? What I'm arriving at was this commemorative stamp was in a frame. It was a mere coincidence that he used it then. That would seem to be the case. Or perhaps you need to suggest that I can somehow manipulate the coincidence. He does have a point. How would this witness know if the victim was going to use that stamp? Without that, he couldn't have planned the murder. What? Really, Calvert. You should be seeing right. You should be seeing through these weak-spined bluffs by now. He's right, though. How could anyone have known Mr. Misham would use that stamp that night? Least of all, Christoph Gavin locked away in his cell. Well, it seems that the defense has run out of things to say. You assume he had something to say in the first place. I believe the defense's bluff has been called. Defense's bluff? I'm not sure I agree with you there, Christoph. Calver? Honestly, I wanted to believe you. But the defense wasn't trying to get away with the bluff. You were, Christoph. What are you saying, Prosecutor Gavin? Haha! The moment we have all been waiting for. The moment the defense and the prosecution team up to take down the big bad evil. Her forehead. What was your accusation again? Huh? It was that this poison stamp killed Drew Mishemja? To which my brother responded thusly. There was no way to know when Mr. Misham would use the stamp. Yes, that's right, which is why it couldn't have been planned. Tell me, it needs to be planned. Why? Why couldn't it have just been a coincidence? The defense case is simply that Drew Misham died by that stamp. That's all. Coincidence. Christoph, you tried to slip out of underneath his accusation by changing the subject. If that's not bluffing, what is? What are you up to, Calver? I could ask the same question first off. I silenced the defense with the fewest words as efficient possible, called efficiency. But Mr. Gavin, that's the impermissible testimony. Very well. I shall take his claim head on. Justice. What? You accuse me of Drew Misham's murder, yes? Then, allow me to ask you, what possible reason could I have killed a painter? Apollo, motive. He's talking about a motive. Obviously. No, because Calvert would know that Vera is the forger. So what benefit would he have to killing the father? That's it. He wasn't trying to kill Drew Misham at all. He was just trying to kill Vera. Well, he was trying to get them both killed. I think he was just trying to get them both killed. But why? I still don't know. What's this tragedy? What's tragedy? It's hard to see how an attorney could come to want to kill a painter. Now, here's something. Why didn't he bring up the motive from the very beginning? Unless he was afraid that if the battle he might lose. So what does it mean? It means that there might be a weak spot. Maybe I have some evidence to prove a motive. A motive for murder that was supposed to take place 7 years ago. This is a vital, if not the most vital element in this case. Please consider this when making your statement. I'd say it's about this vital. That's a pretty vital. Well, Mr. Justice, going through with this no matter what. Understood, Your Honor. I'd like to present evidence. Then, let's see what you have for us. What reason did Christoph Gavin have for wanting to murder Drew Misham? No, we can't. We can't prove that he was the one who wanted it. Do we send out the trump card? I think we send out the trump card.
Take that!
Bravo, Justice. The way you presented Aramis' evidence with such a mumbling, with such a numbing lack of skill. Says my former boss, by the way. To think changing mentors would cripple you so. Allow me to present you with a numbing penalty. Hang in there, Apollo. Drew Misham had another fist beside his knee. So we do show the forge. Add a lawyer to that, and the puzzle is complete. You're on. They wanted to. He wanted to destroy Phoenix's career. But why exactly? Your Honor, I'm plenty numb now. Can I try again? Then let's see what you have for us. What reason did Kristoff Gavin here want to murder Drew Misham?
Take that!
Kristoff Gavin's motive becomes clear when we consider why the stamp came into Drew Misham's studio in the first place. And why was that? Forgery, Your Honor. Go back 7 years. Drew Misham accepts his first job creating forged evidence. I see now. A page from a diary, wasn't it? Next by Garamay's diary. When attorney Phoenix Wright lost his badge, yes. This was the evidence he presented to his law. This evidence is a fake, yes. But did Mr. Wright request the forgery made? That was never proven.
Objection!
The defense attorney on that case was Phoenix Wright, who, other than him, drunk with the prospect of victory, could have done it. And why would they? Just out of curiosity. Do you remember this letter? This is the first page. And this is the second. Those were presented in court yesterday. This letter was sent to Drew Misham by the client who requested that forgery. The enclosed stamp was none other than this poison commemorative stamp. Drew Misham drew his last breath just the other day. However, the motive for his murder was already 7 years old. 7 years old? The client who requested this forgery was very cautious. He tried to erase anything and anyone with connections to the forgery to keep them from talking, but he made a mistake. But I kept it. Father took me when I was very young. It was a great magic show. I loved it so much. The killer's time bomb was delayed. The poison stamp was sealed within a glass frame, where it stayed for 7 whole years. Her forehead? Do you understand what you're telling us? Just barely. The one who schemed up the forged diary page was the one who poisoned the stamp, and it was Phoenix Wright who presented the forged evidence 7 years ago. Adding two statements together, the one who schemed to kill Drew Misham was none other than Phoenix Wright.
Objection!
Sorry, but that's not how this is going to go down. Oh, then how will it go down? I checked through the records on that case when I found this. 7 years ago, just before the trial began. Oh boy! Here! What's this? I don't know. Got it over there in the hall. They told me to give it to the blue and the blue suit with the spiky hair. And one more thing. I'm sorry to sprung this on you so suddenly. I received the files from your previous attorney only yesterday. I understand that I'm asking the impossible. Yes, well, you haven't really told me what happened yet. All we did was play cards. And that was enough. Phoenix Wright was put on the case the day before the trial started. He didn't have time to request a forgery. The day before? Now here's the question. Just who was Shady and Gar's previous defense attorney? No, this can't all be. But it is all true. There was another man. The defense attorney with a badge on his collar. It was you, Kristoff Gavin. Order! What is the meaning of this? Witness. Defendant. Foreign lawyer. Let me begin by denying this.
Objection!
It's easy enough to look up, Mr. Gavin, and impossible to prove that if you can't. Attorneys are registered with with courts the day before the trial begins. In other words, no record remains in court. How exactly did you intend to prove Phoenix's rights claim? That would be difficult. I'm afraid this line of inquiry won't yield.
Objection!
Her forehead. Are you sure you don't have evidence? I don't have evidence to back it up. But Calvert, where are you going with this? What's wrong with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks clammy. Evidence. Evidence that shows this man, Christoph Gavin, requested the forgery 7 years ago. Calvert. Just prove it! Clear up these doubts now, or I swear I'm off this case! You must have a sort of some evidence. Apollo. Prosecutor Gavin looks like he's in physical pain. That darkness. I have to pull that darkness out of him. And proof is the only way I can. What proof? What proof? Christoph Gavin links. What proof Christoph Gavin's link to your mission now? Do we bring out the yellow envelope? That's the only thing I can think of. Well, Mr. Justice, you claim Christoph Gavin requested a forgery at your mission 7 years ago. Prove it. It can be proven. Simply ridiculous. Why even discuss it? This evidence does not.
Objection!
Are you telling the truth, Apollo Justice? He said her real name. I am. Then I say we give him the benefit of the doubt. Very well, but if you are wrong about this, prepare for a penalty. Ooh, I thought that would be like a, yeah, give one chance, Apollo.
Objection!
Your Honor, you do the offense in justice. Mr. Justice clearly is passionate about his claim. Should the penalty not match his passion? I haven't given a penalty like that in a long time. Well, Mr. Justice, fine, Your Honor. All I have to do is prove any link. Something that ties Christoph Gavin to your mission. And I have something that clearly does the job. Very well, Mr. Justice. Present your evidence. Show us the link between our witness and true mission.
Take that!
This evidence proves there is a link.
Objection!
That scrap of paper? I'm afraid I can't let you submit that. Is there a problem? There is. How could you possibly have that? You couldn't. Hey! That's Daddy's handwriting. Mr. Wright's handwriting? What's the meaning of this? Ah, I see now. Yes, of course. What do you mean, of course? I just remembered that I had a visitor yesterday. Phoenix Wright came to my cell, except I wasn't there. Phoenix Wright? When I returned, I saw he had something of mine in his possession. Of course, I had no intention of letting him get away with reading my private mail. Mail? You mean this letter was in your cell? No. However, it appears Mr. Wright has yet to be cured of his bad forging habit. Well, if that's a forgery, it's not a very good one. The handwriting's terrible. This is Mr. Wright's reproduction of what was written in the real letter. Repercussion? When Mr. Wright visited Christoph Gavin's cell, he brought with him a small video camera. What? He recorded his entire conversation with you, Mr. Gavin, and the contents of your personal mail. Regardless, the mockery of this piece of paper will never be accepted by the court. Evidence based on a video? A man with no authority whatsoever claims he took. A man who happens to be an ex-attorney suspect of forgery? Prosecutor Gavin. Prosecutor Gavin? As embarrassing as this is for me to say, I'm afraid my brother is incapable of making rational judgments at the moment. Your Honor, your decision. The defense claim is denied. What? Only actual evidence is permitted in a court of law. Please remove the defense's evidence from the record. Better luck next time, Judge. Well, we have certainly taken a detour from our cross-examination, but the defense appears to be lacking proof. I'm forced to end the cross-examination of Kristoff Gavin at this point. Apollo, do something! I'm thinking, but without evidence, I don't have anything I can use on him. Very well, this ends the special witness cross-examination.
Objection!
The show's not over yet. The crowd screams for more. Yeah, now, do I understand why? Prosecutor Gavin. Frankly, I'm relieved. This has been bothering me for 7 whole years. And I'm tired of this whole useful angst. Now's our chance. Let's clean out the family closet, eh, Kristoff? Calver, you're spinning out of control. Calm yourself before you say something you'll regret. Spinning out of whose control? Mine or yours? Take a moment to consider everything you've built. Your reputation as a prosecutor, your fame with the map. You could lose it all, Calver. Apollo, did you see that? He's trying to press Prosecutor Gavin. Prosecutor Gavin, try to remember what's really important to you. You amused me, her forehead. I couldn't forget what's really important to me, even if I tried. In fact, I haven't. Not even once. 7 years ago. Finally. You couldn't just resist, couldn't you? Her right. Resist what? Presenting solid evidence? At a request, we put the current cross-examination on hold. The prosecution would like to call a new witness. State your name and occupation for the record. I'm familiar with the trial. I watched the video several times. Didn't you find anything unnatural about it? Unnatural? Well, you did seem unusual, well prepared. I mean, Mr. Wright had only just presented his evidence. And the next moment, you called Drew Misham. It was almost as if Calver knew. As almost if what? Funny, it didn't even occur to me to wonder. But now that I do, I see there's only one possible explanation. Almost as if, from the very beginning, you knew Mr. Wright was going to present that evidence. Ah! Correct. I knew that if I applied the usual pressure, Phoenix Wright would eventually come up with that forged diary page. Don't do this, Calver. I knew because you told me, Kristoff. What?! You should have seen this coming, Apollo. The night before the trial. Calver. Kristoff. I've seen you at the prosecutor's office the day before the trial. Ah. I won't be appearing in the trial, actually. Huh? Why not? I won't be facing off with you in your first trial, apparently. But in exchange, I brought you information. Information? The attorney who will be there in my place tomorrow is not to be trusted. Don't even give him the benefit of your respect. Listen, I want you to call in a special witness. Then, I wondered about it at the time. How did Kristoff know so much? Prosecutor Gavin? Kristoff, we were supposed to face each other in that trial. A fair fight, brother to brother. I deserve that much. You let me borrow the victim's belongings. You showed me all your research on the case. The victim's belongings, which would have been included in my diary, wouldn't it? Mr. Gavin? My, Calver. You disappoint me. You find trees, yet miss the forest. You're the one missing the forest, Mr. Gavin. You can't sweep this under the rug. Not anymore. Tell me, what was going on behind that trial? Why not? I've achieved what I came here to do. I see no harm in a little reminiscing. Apollo. I think we're finally going to shine light on all the black belly of things, Trucy. We've done everything we could. I hope it's enough. 7 years ago, the day before the trial, I visited a detention center at the request of my client, Zach Garamay. 2 cards. One card. Showdown time. Enough. You lose, Gavin. Thanks for the work. Now go. To be honest, I don't know what his reasons were to this day. As far as I could tell, he dismissed me as his representation because I lost him in a game of poker. I came to no other conclusion. That he used to say something. If you want to know a man, he has to compete. Zach wasn't watching his point or the card. He was watching the man behind the card, Christoph Gavin. I couldn't believe it. Phoenix Wright? A second-rate attorney that relies on luck and bluffs? He dismissed and went to that pitiful excuse for a man? He deserves to die for that error alone. Hold it! So the one who requested that forgery was... Oh, I'm not admitting anything. My point is, these 2 men shamed me, and I could not forgive that. Phoenix Wright and Zach Garamay both deserve what they got. No, neither one did. Zach Garamay didn't deserve to die. Phoenix didn't deserve to lose his attorney's badge. So you asked Mr. Misham to forge that evidence so you could win? But then why were you dismissed as Zach Garamay's attorney? You used to forge evidence as a trap. You fed me information about the forgery you made. Then you gave your dirty evidence thing. You're free to imagine what you will. My point is that all that I imagined came to pass. Everything went perfectly. Incredible. If I wasn't laughing, I'd weep. Prosecutor Gavin? Perfectly? You're mad, Kristoff. Stop fooling yourself. What are you talking about, Calvert? Tell me, how did that trial end? Cancelled, when the defendant vanished. Ah, I get it. So, Kristoff, you would have been living in fear for 7 years. What? You were afraid that your forgery would be revealed and your reputation trashed. You couldn't leave things to change, so you watched everyone involved with the case for 7 years. You know, he always felt like he's been watched. That's what he said every day for 7 years. But I felt it too. Journalists sure he has been watched. End quote. Don't you wonder why Zach Garamay got rubbed out after 7 years? Right after coming into contact with me? Right after coming into contact with Phoenix? Just wait a minute. Zach Garamay was seen by this reporter? How is that possible? She was alive being gone after 7 years? Finally, I knew this moment was coming. I just didn't think we'd get here so fast. Same here, Polo. That's why I started streaming out early. Zach Garamay, gone missing for 7 years. Trucy's father. What's wrong, Apollo? Go get him! Right. Leave it to me. Allow me to refresh the court's memory. 6 months ago, Christoph Gavin was charged with murdering a mysterious traveler. I remember him quite well. Shady Smith, was it? Poisoned in a Chinese restaurant. Right. Your Honor, it was smashed over the head in a Russian restaurant. The details won't really matter right now. What matters is that the traveler was Zach Garamay. it, Apollo? Huh? Keep going! We'll talk about it later. Did she already know? Someone please explain this. Mr. Justice, can you explain this? It all started 7 years ago. The great magician Magpie Garamay's death started it. Magpie Garamay's death and his student Zach Garamay is the suspect. Whoever defended Zach in court successfully would be famous beyond belief. Thinking of that, Christoph Gavin did the unthinkable. He forged evidence. Drew Misham? Actually, it was his daughter, Vera, who really did the work. You took precautions when you had the forgery made, didn't you, Mr. Gavin? Precautions? To keep the people from talking, of course. These two know too much. Leave them alive and they'll think nothing of... Leave them alive and there'll be nothing but trouble. That's when you planned your poisoning of the forger. Adequate. Applies to a commemorative state. But luck was on Mr. Misham's side. The bomb didn't go off. His daughter. She saved him by taking the stand by saying. But that wasn't the only bomb he set up. The adequate nail polish, of course. You noticed something when you requested that forgery. When Vera is nervous, she has a bad habit. A tendency to bite her nails. Ah! Not nail polish, but her good luck charm. She was almost kidnapped. Since then, she's been, well, you can see for yourself. She refuses to leave the house. The person who gave me this good luck charm, when I absolutely had to go outside, it protects me. Yes, apparently she received something. A gift. She won't tell me what it was. It was from that client, the one who wanted that note to be made. It was his insurance. Insurance? As long as she lived quietly at home, there was no danger to her. But what if she had to go outside? If she ran into any trouble, she'd become nervous, and the nail polish would do the rest. His time bombs sat there for 7 years, and then they went off almost simultaneously. If you're finished, may I return to my cell now? I'm not accustomed to standing for such long periods of time. Mr. Gavin! Have you heard a single thing we said? Oh, I listened quite closely to your little tale. Quite an entertaining piece of fiction. What? Calvert, surely you understand. We're back to the evidence. The lacking evidence. Nothing proves a link between him and the aqua team that took Mr. Drew Misham's life.
Objection!
What about the restaurant? You killed Zach Garamay to keep him from talking. I killed no man of that name. Really, ready to read over the report again if you'd like. The victim was a traveler by the name of Shady Smith, about whom we know little else. You can't seriously think I knew he was the particular fugitive.
Objection!
Okay, then why did you kill him? I claim my right to remain silent. Remember, this court did not convene to put me on trial. The defendant's name is Vera Misham, suspected of murder of her father. My trial has been finished for 6 months now. I'm afraid we have strayed considerably from the purpose of our purpose here. This court concurs with the witness. It's the defendant Vera Misham who is on trial. No, but you were doing so well, Apollo. As long as there's no evidence to support this accusation against him, this court of inquiry cannot find Vera Misham innocent.
Objection!
Your Honor, Phoenix Wright has spent 7 years collecting this evidence.
Objection!
You still don't get it. Let us assume that there was poison in the nail polish. Who then was responsible for causing Vera Misham to bite her nails? What? It It wasn't me. I know that much. No one who brought that poison to her lips was you. I didn't ask to be the defense attorney here. What? Okay, so now I'm accused of being murdered? Evidence is everything. There is nothing more. I believe this discussion has reached its conclusion. Your Honor! Mr. Justice, you have performed admirably for a novice attorney. I respect your part. Phoenix Wright's determinations as well. However, without direct proof, you have nothing. Isn't that right, Calvert? Unfortunately, yes, Kristoff, you're right. That is, you would have been right. Until now. Calvert has evidence! What? Did the news not reach your desk in solitary? The eyes of the nation are on this courtroom today. This is the trial case for the new judicial system. That's right. I totally forgotten. The jurist system. Jurist, you say. The current judicial system has been deemed too closed off from society. This new system attempts to introduce the wisdom of the common citizen into the law. Common citizens? Wisdom? Does this sound kind of a joke? What could we possibly gain from doing this? Entrusting our judicial system to a mindless, emotional mob of irrational mouse breezers? Mr. Gavin, you probably don't want to piss off the jurists. Common citizens have something called common sense. Common sense is not restricted by the law. Nonsense! There's only room for two in this courtroom. Me and the law. Keep the riffraff out. Out, I say! Jurist, you know what to do. You're not in court, actually. You're watching everything by video camera. Oh my gosh! It's like breaking the fourth wall. They're like staring into our soul. How can you allow this? Incidentally, the one responsible for making this happen was Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright? Oh no, he's gonna break it. So, everything was leading to this. Of course. Right. 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 Right! We're just gonna let him break down real quick? I won't accept. I can't accept. This is no court. Law. The law is everything. The law is absolute. You let ignorant swine soil your court? Kristoff, it's over. Calvert! The law is absolute. You can't be serious. What? Odd. I thought you spent your life looking for loopholes. The law isn't absolute. It's filled with contradictions. The law is the end product of many years of history, the fruit of human knowledge. Like a gem, polished to the gleams through the trial and error. It is the fruit we receive, passed on, and faced in our time. It is always changing, growing, nurturing. It is our task as human beings. Except for you, Kristoff. You aren't changing. You've stopped. You're not needed anymore. I didn't think of anything to say. Maybe because I still haven't seen enough. But someday, I'll know what law is. I'll fight to change it if I have to. I see no further to prolong this trial. This began as a trial of Vera Misham, accused of murdering her father. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to open the evidence. The painter, Drew Misham. However, Several other incidents were revealed, and we seem to have reached a conclusion. Before this court declares a verdict, I await your jurist of the court. For the death of Drew Misham, how do you find the defendant, Vera Misham? Innocent or guilty? I turn to you now to consider this matter. October 9th, 1248, Juris Chamber. This ends the trial of the case. Only the verdict remains to be decided. Defendant Vera Misham is currently in intensive care. Its decision cannot be reached today and may never be reached. The factors involved are simple. Did the defendant poison her father that night? If so, she is guilty. Or was there another reason Mr. Misham's death? Did another person poison him? If so, she is innocent. A panel has been provided to each of you to input your decision. That is all. Please, wait! Yes, jurist number 6? There's something in the journalist handbook here. Persons involved with this case cannot be jurists. That is correct. I looked into all your dossiers. None of you were involved with the development of this case. With the development of the case? I see. Does that answer your concern? It's time for your verdict. Make your decision in the case against Vera Misham. After 7 years, the truth is ready to be heard. Judge Wesley, just as well. Okay, here's the thing. I know there's a achievement for guilty. Here's the thing. Okay, so here's the thing. I know there's a verdict for guilty. There's an achievement for voting guilty. So we're gonna vote guilty. I knew it! I knew Leopold was Paul's mother! And so a verdict was reached on October 9th, 12:14 p.m. The first verdict under the jury system. A hung jury. The final verdict to wait the following day. But they had a different plan. That night, the defendant Vera Misham's condition worsened. She died in her hospital bed. Her verdict was postponed for eternity. I knew it was an achievement, so I had to get the achievement. I had to get the achievement. You're ignoring your spinal cord. Krista, it's over. Calvert, the law is absolute. You can't be serious. Let's just speed through this real quick. Maybe because I still haven't seen enough. But someday I'll know what law is. I can fight to change it if I have to. Okay. Shut up! I just let me say she's not guilty. At least it's she never gets the guilty verdict technically. Oh, so it shows it either way. So yeah, like, yes, it's now technically proven that Leomore is Apollo's mother. And so a verdict was reached on October 9th, 2:14 p.m. The first verdict under the juris system, innocent, was an unanimous decision. The records will show that when the verdict was announced, special witness Christoph Gaffin laughed. A laugh louder than any heard before, or since. A laugh that echoed in the halls of justice, lingering for what seemed like hours. October 10th, 8:30 a.m., the morning after the trial. An intensive prayer where a true miracle occurred. Vera Misham opened her eyes. October 10th, 10:12 a.m., Pick Fear Clinic. Vera, I'm so glad. Don't cry, Apollo. I'm happy too, and proud. You did well, Apollo. And I thought about, what if Vera, Hey now, don't you start crying too. Sorry you have to see us like this. Vera? Thank you so much, Apollo. Thank you. No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have pressed you like that. If I hadn't, you wouldn't have bitten your nails. No, I was wrong. Being locked inside like that, clinging to my good luck charm. Vera, when I opened my eyes, I saw you. I finally understood. It's important to be a part of the world. To see things with your own eyes. It looks like that poison had some effect after all. It killed off whatever was holding Vera back from life. I knew you told through, Vera. I mean, that's what Apollo was fighting for the whole time. Your future. I won't forget it. Here, let me thank you. No, really, it's okay. Ooh, look! It's me! I love it! Thanks! Is that me? Do you really captured your essence, Apollo? Well, I think so, at least. That reminds me. Do you know where the other lawyer is? The other lawyer? Oh, you mean Daddy? He's not a lawyer anymore. It's my fault, isn't it? I'm sorry. Oh, no. That's not what I meant. No, it's okay. I thought of looking away from the things I've done. I hope I can look at him in the eyes again someday and apologize. I'm sure he'll be happy to hear that. He brought all those things for me when he came to visit earlier. You mean the stack of videos? Mr. Wright finished watching them all? You know, I knew my real daddy was alive. Huh? I was there 7 years ago, remember? I was the one who helped him vanish from the courtroom. You did what? How? I'm not telling. He promised me that day when he went away. We may not meet again for some time, Tracy. But know this, I will be watching, and one day I shall return. Here's the next scare May, after all. Oh, Tracy. In the end, he couldn't keep that promise, could he? That's okay. Phoenix is my daddy now, even if he can't play piano. That he can't. Oh, and I got you too, even if your voice is kind of loud sometimes. Yeah. Do we let them know? Glad I made your list. After all, I am your stepbrother. After all. Hey, come to think of it, where is Daddy? The one who can't play. Do you know Apollo? I think he said he had to meet someone. I wonder. Maybe it's a new mommy. Or your mommy who's still alive. Oh, Tracy. Yes, Vera? I was wondering. Did you show him to me once more? Their hat, was it? Oh, he's not being knighted yet. Here goes. Do an unusual impression, Mr. Hat. Addiction. Not loud enough. It's like Miss Magic Underwear better anyways. That's Magic Panties, Apollo! Your memory returned. Mr. Wright. Was this all part of your plan too? I don't know what you're talking about. When I lost my memory, I was reborn as Leia Mora. But you knew my true identity, did you not? I thought you chose me as one of your jurists. You're sinking into it too much. Besides, there was no guarantee that regaining your memory would make you happy. Of course it was a happy thing. For so long, I thought I was alone. But now I know I have children. 2 dear children. I'm so proud of them. Oh my gosh! I had to figure that Leia Moore was their mother. And then when I realized it, oh my gosh, I was thinking back to Turnabout Serenade and it literally made me cry. Like, knowing that, I was like, oh my shit. Like, I literally cried that it's like 3 people don't know they're related helping each other. I was like, oh my god! But does Valiant have an idea? Are you going to tell them? They do not know? Nope. They do not know their mother. They don't even know their sibling. Half siblings, technically. I'll have to go to them when the time is right. Until then, don't worry. I'll take care of them for you. They're very important to me, too. So, by this technicality... a little annoying at times, but still. I have to keep an eye on her at least. Because I'm the only one who knows how she really feels on the inside. Your bracelet. Yes? I've seen a lot of mysterious things in the past 7 years. But your bracelet's for the strangest of all. I remember meeting him half a year ago now, in Kristoff's Gavin's office. And then I met you. 2 fates destined to intertwine. And I was there when they crossed. I'll never forget that. Such a normal thing. Such a small thing. That a bullet, yet it tore who I was away. 10 years ago, during a simple rehearsal, it was a miracle that no one died, but I didn't survive that accident. That's why I left the Tope, my family. Now, my memory has returned, and I am myself once more. For the first time, I am glad to be alive, Mr. Wright. Speaking of miracles, Vera Misham regained consciousness this morning. I can only hope she is glad as you are. It is a strange thing, fate. Sometimes life is taken. Sometimes life is spared. You know what I've been thinking? People don't die that easily, really. As long as they got something worth living for. Says the man who's almost died like 7 times! That's pretty much the end of my story for now. I still got a long way to go, and this power of mine, well, it needs some work. But there's hope now. We lost it, but somehow we found it again. That's why people are smiling again. Hope. Yeah, I think I'll keep this lawyer thing for a while. Oh, and training time. Gotta go. Courts of Steel. Here comes justice! Attention! I'm glad you're staying with the agency, Apollo. It's like I found my long-lost big little brother. Oh, and don't you worry about Taupe Garrett May. Tracy's on the case. Now that I have this, thanks to Daddy. Tracy Garrett May? Frankly, I got my dad. How about a cat Garrett May? Now that I'll pack him in. Not every day you get to a trial that rocks harder than one of our gigs, yeah? That's why it's over. The Gaviners are breaking up. The news caused a run on tissues. The supermarkets nationwide. Oh, you're the real stars now. I look forward to our next jam session. Oh no, the Gaviners broke up! Oh no, that is so sad! My favorite fictional band! finally over, thinking about it. I've been a piano player longer than I was a lawyer. Now that everything's sorted, I got time on my hands. Maybe I'll take some lessons. Or maybe I'll take the bar exam. Again. Oh, at least Phoenix has closure now, so at least that's true. So, I was standing around eating snackaroos the other day when I got this crazy idea. What if they were golden? You could urge a crunch, but yet make them ding. And the power of science, although the presidents might not be 100% safe. Unlike other events that waiting Russian bees to come to Bosch Boat Club. Only thing colder than Russia is the Bosch. Bah, but if you get a great challenge through being fired. And then come to the hideout. You know who to ask for. It is so crazy to think that the game's over. So, Takti Pastries is getting back to years and years spread culture now. Yo, boss, culture time! This is how we write root capiche. But we are still giving it back to the people. Yo, boss, PR time! And this is how we write to people, alright? Not that Bucky's paying any attention. Boys, so Chinese characters on a cake was applied 3,000 years ago. Believe that. Yo, man, if you want to make it today, you gotta keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Yo, that's why I made the OG cracker. For real. I know it doesn't look like our cracker. Gee, what you want to call it, OG muffin? Oh. Yeah. Oh my gosh, such bitter end. I don't know where all this talk about food is coming from. You ask me, there's only one food, and that's noodles. Noodles forever. I got a new one too. See, this time I just put a big chunk of salt in the bowl. But I pretend that noodles is all about the salt. Salt forever! I'm not busting my recorder out for that, to be honest. My exemplary presentation is one thing, but an adoration in my department. You see, they used to call me Wesley Stinkler, and now Wesley Stinkhands. Wow, an upgrade! Good job! But no longer. I have a new name, one that reflects my true academic nature. Wesley Sicko reporting. Yes, curious as the sickness. I am the cure. Wow, an upgrade! Congratulations! Crazy to think that we're ending this game. I don't know how to thank you all for what you've done. Light has returned to my life. With it, joy. I may have lost years, but I have gained a treasure. Two treasures, in fact. I will think of them when I write my next song. It is so beautiful! I'm so happy for Lamore! That she knows the truth, but her children do not! Fresh for the beat of another interview. How do I feel about the things turned out? No scoop yet, but journalist confidence in men's condition. End quote. I just had to keep painting. Original only, of course. I suppose I'll have to see what fits the world outside if I want to paint. But I know there's a good people out there now. I have met them. The door is open. The world is waiting. Thank you. Oh, that's such a cute drawing! Adorable. Oh, that is also cute too. Wait, we have to play that. We have to play that music. Do we? No. Do we have to find it in Oh, do we have to find it in the? Do we have to find it in here? Orchestra Hall. I must listen to this. It would be in a full justice, right? I forgot what it was called, honestly. Oh yeah, this is the... We unlocked a new song. Where is it? Oh. What if it... Yeah, what if I was about to say, what if I just looked into this? Oh, guess I'll just have to look back. Also, am I missing? So it looks like so far I have I have gotten all these achievements so far. So we're looking good on achievements. But I do have to switch music. That's I guess we just we go to the ending, or we go back, or we could go back to what it was originally, which is Apollo's Justice: A New Era Begins. I'm still, oh, by the way, still absolutely gonna make sure yeah. We are gonna kind of go back to the telescreen though, so that way, because I still love this music here. And that's we're gonna kind of end. I didn't expect it to be this short, to be honest. So, I thought we were gonna have a long, hard battle, to be honest. And in the end, it was crazy. It's just like, looking at us, just like, oh, where's the jurist? But it was like, whoa, breaking the fourth wall and everything. So I actually kind of knew that moment was gonna happen, but I still feel like there is more to Apollo's backstory than just being, but yeah, like I said, like, literally when I said that, it was that being also a 2 in technicality. But like I said, does anybody in chat, do you know that if you are technically related to the adoptive father of your half-sister? Which is insane. That is, like, crazy to think. And plus, they didn't have to, like, show that Leia Moore was, like, because I kind of figured that one. I figured that one out a while ago too, and it's just like, it's crazy. But I still feel like, but that's the most heartbreaking part of all of that is the Gaviners broke up. My favorite fictional band is broken up. But now I have more ideas for rejection.lols. This is the thing too. So I'll definitely. So I know in the animation studio, I'll see what I can do with that. So. Like I said, no. You know what? Actually, yeah, I am finished playing the game. We'll just use my media source. So. Yeah. That's. Oh, hello, Booba. I didn't expect our ending. I was like, okay, it was okay. What to say? I didn't expect our ending to be this short. So, yeah. I thought we'd get a little more heavier into Apollo's backstory because I feel like that's not all of it. Because I was really built up. It was really built up to me from online that Apollo's backstory is like very tragic, and yeah. What we know so far, yeah, is pretty tragic, yeah. But I don't think that's all of it. Is the thing. Like, I've seen some screenshots from Dual Destiny, and oh boy. We're gonna have a real treat here. So, but we won't get into Dual Destiny for a while, because like I said, next up on Thursday we will be starting Steins;Gate Zero. Over the weekend we'll be Turnabout Replay, the adventure of the unspeakable story, which happens to be the longest goddamn. Like I said, you guys happen to be the longest episode of the Chronicles. So. And, to be fair, I'm not mad. Because it is a really good episode. And it's just like, ooh, you're only scratching the surface of what this series is about. Like, because this is the height of where all the questions are answered. And it's just at the same time, what do we do about it then? So since my stream ended up being kind of short, I have a lot of rage targets too. But we can just sit here and talk about like the ending of Apollo's Justice. Like, damn, that is a good. It was good. It was a good story. It was a good game. It was crazy. It's just like, damn. It's like, and we found out all of that by perceiving and presenting evidence. So it's like, I actually kind of like, I really do like that perceiving thing. Because it's like, you can't just like, because it's like, yeah, it's like, yeah. And it's like, it's very interesting to note that it's like, because it also makes mention of like, going back to like the whole like, thing too, it's like, yeah, interesting. It's like we don't fully know Apollo's story, and like I'm pretty sure like the way it sounded like it was going. I don't think Dual Destiny was planned. They were planning like another like a game for like Apollo, specifically Apollo, because like at this point at this point Phoenix still doesn't have his attorney's badge. Phoenix doesn't have his attorney's badge back. And he's like, well, maybe it's time I actually learn how to play the piano, or maybe I just, become a lawyer, or go take the bar exam again. So it's like, Phoenix doesn't have his lawyer's badge yet. We still have, there's still lots to note about Apollo. So, like, maybe they weren't planning Dual Destiny, but maybe they were planning Dual Destiny at the time. But then again, here's the thing about that. In technical releases, there is 6 years between Apollo's Justice. Between the release years, there is 6 years between Apollo's Justice and Dual Destiny. So, it's like, am I gonna play all the games in between that came out in between then and then? No, because I already played one. 2, I'm not doing Professor Layton versus Phoenix right until after we finish all the Apollo's Justice trilogy. But you bet your buckets I'm playing Investigations 2 as our next Ace Attorney game. Investigations is such a good game. Such a good spin-off of the series. It's like, it's different, but it's like also like not different. It's like, yeah. And honestly, I'm kind of hoping, not gonna lie, to the creators of Ace Attorney, if you are listening, and I know you're probably not, I would love it if you guys could create a great Ace Attorney Investigations. I would love that. See how it like differ from like, because obviously your Great Ace Attorney Great Ace Attorney Investigations would follow like Banshee and Kazuma, and then it's like you make another Ace Attorney game. You make Ace Attorney 3, where it's like where it could be like a meanwhile in Japan with or like Investigations would be a meanwhile in England. Because it's like Investigations 3 Ace Attorney Investigations 3 would come out, and it'd be like Renosuke and Sato and their adventures in Japan, and then it would be, and then at the end it would like hint at like the Inkling crew going to Japan, and then Ace Attorney Investigate then you release the Great Ace Attorney Investigations, and then it's a meanwhile in England, where it's like Banshee and Kazuma like solving a crime and such, and then it's like this underlying story that brings not only them but like Gina, Iris, and Sholmes to Japan, and then you have your Ace Attorney. Then you release the Ace Attorney your Great Ace Attorney 4, which is the Everybody's in Japan. And it's like, and it wraps up that storyline, and then you can say that the series is finished. But I can't say much about the mainline series too much either, because, like I said, we've only just finished Apollo's Justice. We still have Dual Destiny and Spirit of Justice. So, but I also want to make sure I focus on Professor Layton and Science Gate, because Professor Layton, I'll be real with you, I love the game. But it is also mostly so that I don't go into the crossover game and like, I have no idea how to play either one of these series. That is crazy. Am I also just bullshitting or like talking so that I feel like the stream's 2 hours long? Yes. So I need to bullshit talk for like 4 more minutes. It's fine. I also love like doing like these talks like after the streams, because especially like games like this, it's like there's a lot to be like determined. Like I said, I have new ideas for Objection.lols, which I will definitely be doing. But I'll see what I can do with like the animation studio within the Apollo's Justice trilogy, because I think what happened there is they definitely saw like what us the community have been doing with like Objection.lol, and just like here Objection.lol, because here's the thing, Objection.lol clearly was around in like 2000, like at least 2011, because like sure you may not have the music, but like I think with it so far, I think the animation studio and the game is only like, so I'll still have to be using both Objection.lol and this animation studio, because you guys know I want to create a series for with the Objection.lol of called The Polish Justice, the Time Traveling Lawyer. And so I started thinking of like how all of this could work in like my fictional universe, like my fictional alternate universe of Ace Attorney. And I'm not gonna spoil anything about this because it's gonna be good. But make sure to keep an eye out on my alternate channel, Nova Nitro, on YouTube for Objection.lol stuff. But with how inspired with this I am with now with I might hold off a bit on the Miles Edgeworth Goes to Steel Samurai, because I can't really think of like what I really want that to happen, because it's like, yeah, the ideas come to me, but it's like I want that to be like a whole thing on its own, but it's like no ideas are coming to me, so I might start focusing on like, you know, the No One Can Decide Where to Eat because, well, I mean, technically, the Apollo's Justice, the Time Traveling Lawyer series kind of has already started, because that's with the No One Can Decide Where to Eat part 1 and 2. And when I made the original one, I didn't think I was like, so I'll definitely have to play around to see what the. So yeah, it's so interesting to think about like how this all works. So yeah. So keep an eye out on the alternate on my other channel, Nova Nitro, on YouTube for more Objection.lol, because my god, my time has been flowing. It's like that ending is like, yeah, there's so much to be relieved about. It's just like, yeah, it's like cool, like everything has been solved. So it's like, but it's just like, yeah, of course, like no immediate actions were played. Also, I thought we were gonna have some like deep traumatic backstory for the Gavins, because quite frankly, I with what it was when Kristoff's Psyche Locks came up, it was Phoenix's reaction to it was like, made me think it was some like dark and deep and like some tragic ass backstory. That's why I kind of titled the truth behind all this tragedy and despair. But in reality, it was just he lost a client. He lost a client that was gonna make him big, all because he lost a game of cards. And know who didn't lose a game of cards? Phoenix Wright. The man, the myth, the legend himself. Yeah, I'm going back. Yeah. After playing the game, Phoenix has definitely earned his. Phoenix has definitely earned the legend back. He lost it in like turnabout corners, and he regained it, and he has now regained. He thus has regained it. So Phoenix Wright is now once again, the man, the myth, the legend himself. So, anyways, I actually have been just rambling on. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining in for the adventures of Apollo's Justice. Like I said, on Thursday we'll be starting Science Gate 0. And next Tuesday we'll be starting Professor Layton in the Dubious Box. So look forward to that. Also, don't forget about Turnabout Replay. Turnabout Replay this weekend, March 22nd to the 24th. Yeah, I got that right. Hell yeah. So, and it is good. It's a little weird because how things are. So Friday starts at 4 because I won't be able to get home. I get home at work at around 3 o'clock, so then I have like an hour to eat. So that gives me an hour to eat and then set up for stream. And that stream's probably gonna be like, each stream is probably gonna last like 6-7 hours ish. I try to divide it up that way so that way I don't get too strained. Because there is a lot for the event. For these games, and quite frankly, just remember, I have not touched the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles since I completed it. Because that night after the stream finished, I was just making sure I completed all the achievements so that way I could go. I was like, and then I jokingly put on Twitter. Then I jokingly put into the gaming chat Discord. Reminder, we do have a Discord. Here if you are, if you care, so join. Oh, sorry. Enter way too soon. Oh, I spelled this word wrong. I do words too. Okay, so yeah, so there's the information in Discord if you so choose to join. And I was like, so then I was like, so yeah, when I got the achievement, I took a picture of it and I was like, I can sleep soundly tomorrow because I usually can never sleep. I can usually never sleep well, like, the nights I finish video games. So, tomorrow at work is gonna be fun. So this is actually also why I'm kind of glad I made sure to get Apollo's Justice started out early because I do need time to go get ready for work tomorrow and then make sure that I sleep. Make sure that I try to get some sleep tonight. Because tomorrow's not gonna be like a hard day at work, I don't think. But it is gonna be rough if I am like very tired. Because it should be a lot like today, minus the fact that we all went to the building for like a 45-minute lunch. So it should be similar where I do my job, finish the list, and go home elsewhere. But that's just every day. And I shouldn't really be talking. I don't really want to talk about work on like what I do for work. So you know what? Let's do this for a raid. How we pick our raid target. Alexa, pick a number between 1 and 4. All right. Yeah, we're gonna raid Josh. She's a lovely person. I played Jackbox with her before on Hobbit's channel, so she's a really cool person. And you guys should definitely go give her lots of love and everything. And I will see you guys Thursday for Science Gate 0. Bye bye.